The quote "people fall in love with you only for two reasons," attributed to Carl Jung, is not directly traceable to any of his verified writings or lectures, suggesting it may be a paraphrased or popularized interpretation of his psychological theories on love and attraction. Carl Jung, a Swiss psychiatrist and founder of Analytical Psychology, explored human relationships through concepts like the Anima, Animus, projection, and the unconscious, which likely form the basis for this quote. Since the quote itself doesn't specify the two reasons, we can infer them from Jung's framework, particularly his ideas about romantic attraction and the dynamics of the psyche. Below is a detailed explanation of how Jung's theories might align with this statement, along with possible interpretations of the two reasons and their implications. Context of Jung's theories on love and attraction. Jung's work on relationships emphasizes the role of the unconscious in shaping why and how we fall in love. Unlike Freud, who focused heavily on sexual drives, Jung viewed love as a complex interplay of psychological projection, archetypal influences, and the quest for wholeness. His key concepts relevant to this quote include Anima and Animus. The anima is the unconscious feminine aspect in a man's psyche, while the animus is the masculine aspect in a woman's psyche. These archetypes act as inner guides to the opposite gender and influence how we perceive and connect with others. Falling in love often involves projecting this inner image onto someone else, seeing them as the embodiment of our unconscious ideal. Projection. Jung believed that we project unconscious parts of ourselves, desires, ideals, or unresolved traits onto others, especially in romantic contexts. When we fall in love, we may be enamored not just with the person but with the qualities we project onto them, which reflect our own psyche. Individuation. Jung's concept of individuation involves integrating the conscious and unconscious parts of the self to achieve psychological wholeness. Romantic relationships can serve as a vehicle for this process, as they bring unconscious elements to the surface through attraction and interaction. With this framework in mind, the two reasons for falling in love can be interpreted as rooted in these psychological dynamics. Below are the most likely explanations for the two reasons. Based on Jung's theories, the two reasons people fall in love. According to Jung, the anima or animus acts as an unconscious template for the qualities we seek in a partner. For a man, the anima might manifest as an idealized image of femininity, for example, nurturing, intuitive, or mysterious, while for a woman, the animus might represent strength, intellect, or assertiveness. When we meet someone who seems to embody these qualities, we project our inner archetype onto them, creating a powerful sense of attraction. This projection makes us feel that the other person completes us or fulfills a deep, unconscious need. Mechanism. The process is largely unconscious. For example, a man might fall in love with a woman because she evokes his anima, appearing as the perfect partner who aligns with his inner feminine ideal. This isn't necessarily about the woman's true qualities but about how she fits his unconscious expectations. Similarly, a woman might project her animus onto a man, seeing him as embodying traits she values or lacks in herself. Example: a reserved man might fall in love with a lively, creative woman because she represents the spontaneity his anima craves. He is drawn to her not just for who she is but because she reflects a part of his psyche he's yet to integrate. Why it matters. This reason explains the intense, almost mystical quality of falling in love, where the other person feels like a soulmate. However, Jung warned that relationships based solely on projection can falter when the real person doesn't match the idealized image, leading to disillusionment unless the couple grows to see each other authentically. Unconscious resonance or psychological compatibility. Explanation. The second reason people fall in love, in Jungian terms, could be a deep, unconscious recognition of psychological compatibility or shared inner dynamics. Jung believed that relationships often serve the purpose of individuation, helping us confront and integrate parts of our unconscious. We may be drawn to someone whose psyche complements or challenges our own, creating a sense of connection that feels fated or profound. This can involve shared values, complementary personality traits, or even unresolved wounds that resonate between partners. Mechanism. This attraction operates beyond conscious reasoning. For instance, someone with a strong introverted side might be drawn to an extroverted partner who balances them, reflecting Jung's idea of opposites seeking wholeness. Alternatively, two people might share similar unconscious drives or archetypes, creating a sense of mutual understanding that feels like love. This reason is less about projection and more about the unconscious recognizing a partner who facilitates growth or mirrors the self. Example: a person with unresolved emotional wounds might fall in love with someone who, consciously or not, helps them confront those wounds, even if the process is challenging. For instance, someone who struggles with self-worth might be drawn to a partner who embodies confidence, prompting them to work on their own self-esteem. Why it matters: this reason highlights love as a transformative force. Jung saw relationships as opportunities for psychological growth, where partners help each other integrate their shadow, repressed traits, or develop their weaker functions, for example, thinking versus feeling. This makes love a path toward self-discovery, not just romantic fulfillment. Broader implications of the quote: if we assume the quote is a distillation of Jung's ideas, the two reasons likely represent the interplay between projection, falling in love with an idealized image, and resonance, connecting with someone who aligns with or challenges our psyche. Together, these reasons explain why love feels both intoxicating and deeply personal. Jung's view suggests that love is less about the other person's objective qualities and more about how they interact with our unconscious mind. Projection-driven love. This can be intense but fragile. When the projection fades, for example, when you see the person's flaws, the relationship may struggle unless it evolves into a deeper, more authentic connection. Jung emphasized that withdrawing projections, seeing the partner as they truly are, is key to lasting love. Resonance-driven love. This is more enduring, as it's rooted in mutual growth and psychological compatibility. However, it requires self-awareness and a willingness to engage with the unconscious, which can be challenging. Jung saw this as part of the individuation process, where love becomes a journey toward wholeness. Challenges in verifying the quote. As mentioned, there's no direct evidence that Jung said, "People fall in love with you only for two reasons." The quote may have originated from a secondary source, a lecture summary, or a modern interpretation of his work. Jung's writings, such as The Psychology of the Transference or Man and His Symbols, discuss love and relationships but don't distill them into this exact phrasing. It's possible the quote emerged from popular psychology books, social media, or platforms like X, where Jung's ideas are often simplified into aphorisms. Practical application of Jung's ideas. Understanding these two reasons can offer insight into your own relationships. Self-reflection on projection. Ask yourself, what qualities in my partner am I drawn to, and do they reflect something I'm seeking within myself? Recognizing projection can help you separate your partner's true self from your idealized image, fostering a more grounded relationship. Embracing growth. Consider how your partner challenges or compliments you. Are they helping you confront parts of yourself you've ignored? This perspective can turn conflicts or attractions into opportunities for personal development. Balancing both. Healthy relationships often start with projection, the spark, but grow through resonance, mutual growth. Jung's work suggests that love thrives when both partners work towards self-awareness and authenticity. Conclusion. The quote, "People fall in love with you only for two reasons," attributed to Carl Jung, likely reflects his ideas about projection, seeing the anima, animus in another, and unconscious resonance, finding psychological compatibility or growth. While not a verbatim quote, it captures the essence of Jung's view that love is a deeply psychological process driven by the unconscious. The first reason, projection, explains the initial intensity of love, while the second, resonance, points to its potential for transformation and depth. Together, they suggest that love is both a mirror of our inner world and a path to self-discovery.